This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed indie folk singer-songwriter, MAE KRELL. But before we get to our interview, here is a sneak peek at her incredible talent with the lyric video for her original song, Rest Stop.
Your number's off my phone, but I didn't hit delete. I could die in my head, bet you leave my thoughts on red. Your voice was hanging by a thread, still the button that you pressed. Wanted to talk it out, but my mail kept bouncing back. To apologize, but now it seems that's what you want. Been much worse than this, am I not yours? Unless I'm sick, was I better to be around when you had to pull me out? I know I'm not alone, but you don't pick up your phone anymore.
Well, hello, MAE. How are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm great.
MAE, I wish the audience saw our pre-interview chat. Like, you just like bopping through. Where are you? In Brooklyn?
Yeah,
You're
in
in
Brooklyn.
Bushwick with your amazing dog Apollo, who is sleeping in the back like a good baby. MAE, you're such an incredible artist because not only for your unique, authentic sound, literally and figuratively, but how unapologetic you are. So I'm curious to know, first and foremost, where were you born and when did you realize that you had such a love of music?
I was born on the 10th floor of Mount Sinai Hospital on 59th Street in Midtown, New York City. Very important detail, obviously.
Literally around the block from where I live. I know her very well.
Yes. And it's funny, I came into music like what's considered like later, and I put it in quotes because I think that's dumb, but I picked up a guitar when I was like 17. So it's all very, yeah, it's very new. I always like to sing, but my little sister's an actress and she's very out there. And so I was kind of like, oh, she's doing that, I'm gonna sit back and do something else. And then I just kind of realized I like couldn't do that later.
I love it. Now, so talk to me a bit about these past 18 months. I mean, it's been a trauma for all people, but especially artists. But talk to me about your journey with music, because correct me if I'm wrong, you actually came back to it after taking a break. Talk to me a little bit about that journey for you.
Yeah. So I put out an EP when I was 17, like right when I was starting to write stuff. And then I had some like personal mental health things go on and graduated high school like at like an alternative situation like across the country from where I grew up. So it was very interesting, like pulled out of everywhere that I was used to. And when I came back, like obviously I had no internet or anything for a year. So I kind of was forced to take a break. And when I came back, I was kind of processing through like who I wanted to be as an artist, how I wanted to push things forward. And what was really important to me was having consistency. And so before starting to release again, I had like a catalog of like 6 songs ready to go. And so I kind of took a year to write and focus on that and like really cultivate the sound that I wanted to have before coming back into music. And that was kind of what those 2 years were in that break before my EP when I was younger, and then these singles that started in March 2020.
And by the way, excuse the noise that's happening on 57th Street. I am sure you remember that noise. But yeah. MAE, what I love about what you were able to do for yourself, your mental health, your well-being, is take the break before the pandemic that so many people kind of took during it. They were forced to, but the fact that you made the choice to take care of you, and within that silence, I'm sure you were also able to reacquaint a little time with your younger self and what you really wanted to put out there. I'm curious, like specifically, were there any certain initial messages or themes or ideas that came to you after you took that break that you wanted to kind of get out there through your
Yeah,
song?
I think that being away from what I was used to and kind of like learning more about myself and how to handle my mental health, because I grew up, both my parents are immigrants, so like the household, as much as it's supportive and kind, like didn't have any background on how to deal with any of that. So I was kind of learning about my own mental health for the first time, and I really wanted to be open about emotions and processing things in a healthy way as much as possible and just make people feel heard. And so I kind of made a little bit of a change from what I was writing before and was like, I don't want to put this out. I want to be honest. Like, I don't want to hide things. I mean, I still like, I kind of code my lyrics a little bit on purpose, but I like wanted to be very open and honest. And I always say I put all the sad into my music and then I kind of get to like vibe as a person, which is like a funny like combination, you know? Because
I
like my
love
music,
that dichotomy. And also what I love so much, May, I feel like you getting vulnerable. And by the way, you're so freaking young. And the fact that you've already put in so much work into yourself is not only inspiring, you know, and I'm thinking about you as a human, but I'm thinking of the young Mays out there who may come from, let's just say, immigrant backgrounds in terms of them being first generation, of them having to deal with not only their mental health, but also so many things for the first time. You carrying the baton for a family as a first generation person of the planet, you know, it's a lot to deal with. I'm curious to know, do you think about those little Mays out there who are now able to look to someone being so vulnerable and thus that much more relatable?
it's really crazy because obviously like I still have like a small and growing platform with music. Like I'm not like a huge artist yet, I hope. But the kids that I do meet, like I feel like my fan base really does range in like the young teens to early 20s. Like I feel like my oldest fans that really follow my stuff are like around my age or a couple years older. And so I meet all these kids. Like I remember we played a show in Iowa City like a while ago and I'd never been there. And these kids like pulled up like colored hair, skateboards, like super, super cool. Um, and like to hear about their stories and how they were comfortable like being that way in a city that like isn't really like super like progressive in that sense. And how they like related to like my music and how like open things were. I feel like it, even if it gives someone a little bit of a push to like tell their friends about how they're feeling, like that's enough. And that's really cool.
And I think what you do, May, in this show don't tell way is you give others permission to be themselves because you are being yourself. And I've spoken with hundreds of artists as far all around the world, and I think there's something very universal and transcendent about not only your music and your songs, but also your story.
That's cool. That was like nice.
Aw. I mean, I speak the truth. You know, I'm born and bred in New York as well. But listen, I want to let the audience know how they're able to download your FENIX app, your individualized FENIX app onto their home screen. What FENIX has done, this new social media platform for artists, is they've given each artist their own individual app that people can download onto their home screen. It's literally a one-stop shop. Do you mind if I let the audience know how they can download you onto their home screen?
Of course.
Okay. Well, through the power of editing, you're going to see a lot of images and text around what I'm about to say. All you have to do is type in https:// KRELL, that's MAEKRELL.FENIX.band. Hit that add to home screen button. No, actually, first hit that add button. Then hit that add to home screen button, and voila, like magic. Next to your favorite apps, you will have MAE KRELL, one-stop shop personal app, next to all your favorite apps. May, with an app like FENIX, in that not only is it going to have everything that you do all in one spot, I'm curious for you, the prospect of collaborating with other artists around the world, what that would be like for you.
Yeah, I mean, I love meeting new artists and just connecting with other people who have similar passions, because I don't think that you have to make a certain type of music to be passionate about vulnerability and honesty. And so I feel like if you share that value in your writing, it's really cool to be able to meet other people who do the same thing. Actually, some of the tracks that I have out, specifically Colorblind and Rest Stop, were both done remotely. So I was actually in DC while Jacob Leventhal, who produced them, was in New York. And I was figuring out how to like set up a mic setup and all these things for the first time. And we would just go back and forth over text message. Like, here's an idea. Here's a vocal cut. Here's the edit of it. Here's the harmony. I think this would sound better. Here's a new harmony. And it was such a new process. But if you can do that from a couple states away, I mean, you could do it across the world. It's all the same thing, right? So I think
amen. I mean, look at little old Will over here. I have 14 collaborations with artists that have come on board FENIX over the last 7 months. And we've been able to do it through Zoom and WhatsApp. God bless America.
I love WhatsApp.
Oh my God, my new best friend. But May, you might be mine too. But in the meantime, I want to let everyone know, for more on the incredible MAE KRELL, you can read more about her right below this video. May, it was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.